Knowing your limits, exploring your options, and understanding your vision are some of the key things to success. Welcome back to Beyond Beauty Show Kenya, and I'm your host, Nana Igane. Remember, this show is on a mission to inspire and to empower, and I'm really excited about the conversation I'm about to have with one young beautiful lady, and we get to interact with young youth, young people who decided to take action and build their own empire. In the studio today I have Dorcas Owano. She is an author, a singer, a song composer, a mentor, a motivational speaker, and to top it up, she is the founder of Greatest Legacy Foundation. Wow, Dorcas.
Yes.
Thank you so much for making it and to come and join us in the studio today. I'm really humbled to have you today. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. And how are you?
I'm fine, thank you too. And you're looking amazing.
Thank you. Look amazing.
Before we continue, I need to know how old are you?
I'm 19. I'm turning 20 on 30th of this month.
Wow, so it's your birthday month.
Yeah.
Happy birthday in advance.
Thank you.
Wow, at 19, what has inspired you? You have a foundation, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
And you are mentor, a motivational speaker.
Mm-hmm.
We tend to think that motivational speakers are successful people, older people, big people, but you are 19.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you inspire?
First of all, I'd like to say that mentorship of nowadays or motivational speaking is not all about being a billionaire or being successful or maybe have achieved a lot in life, but it's about your value system.
Mm-hmm.
When you're able to know who you really are and what you want, and you're so much passionate about maybe the young people, I think that is a step that people need to take by touching the lives of people through motivation. So for me, mentorship is part of me. I can say it's inborn because my history inspires me a lot to empower more people and just help them to discover who they really are and what they want to achieve in life, because I realized most of the people are failing in life today. It's not because they were meant to be failures, it's not because they were born failures, but it's because they've never known who they really are, their real purpose. So for me, I help people to know who they really are and what they really want in life. Yeah.
So did you start your motivational speaking while in high school, in primary? What inspired you?
My mentorship journey started when I was 15 years old, when I was in Form 2. Mm-hmm. I remember I could wait for Form 1s to join school. Then anytime I was free, I would go to their classes, inspire them, tell them how high school life is, telling them how they should cope up with life in school. Yeah, there are things they should need to believe in, they should also believe in themselves. I think that was my mentorship journey the first time I started it, and it was also good for me because I was also a leader, so it gave me an opportunity to also be a leader in school, mentoring people and at the same time touching their lives. And it gave me more joy when most of them will come to me and tell me that I changed their lives, they have become better people, they have known the truth. That is when I knew that there was a seed that I was planting in my life that was going to become something great someday. Yeah.
Well, that's so good of you. And now let's talk about your foundation, the Greatest Legacy Foundation.
Mm-hmm.
What is it all about?
The Greatest Legacy Foundation is an organization that aims at inspiring, building, and creating a better society. As I told you earlier on, that we need to come up with things that are going to inspire the young generation. I'm so much passionate about young people, and Nelson Mandela once said that your greatest legacy lies in every life that you touch. The best way to find yourself is by giving it to other people. What you do for yourself will remain with you, but what you do for others will remain there even after you die. And about the foundation, I thought to myself, now after my fourth form in 2017, I started now going to schools and orphanages, mentoring people. There is no one who pushed me to do that.
Yeah.
But the passion in me, the zeal I had, and the passion I had towards young people, it's one of the major things that made me to start this journey now on my own. And I used to tell my friends about it, and most of them were like, how can you just do this on your own? How can you manage doing it?
Yeah.
And I told them, you know, I have the passion, I have the confidence. I think I can just do this because it's something that is inborn. So about the foundation, I started it because I wanted to also inspire and create a better society in the country of today, because we have so many people out there, especially the young, who really need someone they can talk to. They really need someone to open a blind eye for them. They really need someone who can tell them whatever you're doing is wrong. They need someone who can be on their side anytime they need help. Because most of the people today, they really lack mentors.
Yeah.
They need someone who can talk to them and tell them the route you're taking is not the right way. You have to do this, and in order for you to accomplish this. So that was the main reason why I had to start this, of which I work with a team of some young people, whereby we move to orphanages and schools, inspiring the young people, helping them to know who they are and what they really want. But when I started it on my own, because I had a vision for it, and I wanted it to be somewhere. Yeah.
I know you've spent some time traveling around, speaking to people. You've said you go to orphans, you go to schools, high schools, primary, and what do you say to them? How do you make sure that they are inspired and encouraged?
There is something called the flow of connection.
Yeah.
The flow of connection is very important, especially when it comes to mentorship. And that determines what is the connection between you and your audience.
Yeah.
Because now when you talk to the young people, there must be a connection. For them to get what you're talking about, for them to put keen interest to whatever you're telling them, you need to have that connection.
Yeah.
For me to capture their attention or to draw their attention to me, I share with them my story.
Yeah.
I share with them my story, how I've been brought up, so that they know that my life has also not been easy. And for them to get to know what you're talking about, you have to tell them who you are first. You can't just tell them, you know, I want you to become better, you know, I want you to become successful. And on your side, you haven't told them what you've gone through. You know, when you tell them, you know, I've been brought up by a single parent, you know, this and this is what I faced. There is someone in that congregation who will have also gone through the same, and maybe she or he will be feeling discouraged. So when that person gets to hear you also have gone through that, they'll take in interest. They also want to become like you someday. So most of the thing, one of the major things I use is my story and what I've achieved in life, of course, and the failures and how I was able to dust up myself and continue with the journey. Yeah.
Wow. Today in the morning when I woke up, I was really excited because I knew I was going to be inspired by you. And you've talked about your story. I need to know your story. My audience needs to know about your story because we also want to be inspired. So briefly, kindly take us through your story.
Me, myself. 19 years down the line, of course now I'm still waiting to hit 20. So I remember at the age of 4 years, that was in 2004, I lost my father. He died of meningitis. I always wished I had the passion to do medicine so that I would major in that field. But God gave me another passion in a field of journalism, of which I also say thank you to it. After the death of my dad, it was a difficult time for us as a family, and for me as well, because my dad was my favorite. I loved my father more than my mother, because he used to sing for me, he was a musician, he would compose songs. So I think most of the talents I have, nilipata kutoka kwake. So I remember that time when I could ask my mom, where's my dad? I haven't seen him for quite some time, and my mom would tell me, your dad has gone on a journey. So I will ask myself, which kind of a journey is this that someone is not returning? So one time it was on a weekend, and I saw people coming to my homestead. People were so many, and most of them were sad, others were crying. Then I saw people viewing the coffin. So I took a step of moving to that place. And I saw my father inside the coffin. And when I looked at him, I saw it was like as if he was asleep. Because people were telling me he's asleep.
Yeah, because you're 4 years.
Yeah, I was 4. So I will call him dad, and I'm not seeing him responding. And I will knock the glass of the coffin, and I never had any response from him. That was when I knew that he was gone. But for me to accept that my father was gone and he will never be back again, it was so difficult on my side. So after that, it was a bit difficult for us as a family and for me. And then I remember in the year 2008, when I was 8, class 3, my mother developed high blood pressure. And then she was admitted in the hospital. I remember a certain day when I was in school, my uncle came to pick me from school, and we went to see my mom. I looked at her and I thought she was going to die the next minute because she was in a critical condition. For me, it was a discouraging moment because I would look at her and tears were rolling down my cheeks, and I'm like, now, I don't have a dad. My mom, her condition is unpredictable. Who is going to take care of me and my elder brother? So it was a question that was running through my mind. And at that time, I think my life began speaking to me because I had this feeling that one day, you know what, Dorcas, one day you're going to become a great lady. Yeah. Not only in Kenya, but the entire world. So that feeling, it was a feeling that I allowed myself to follow. And since then, my life has always been speaking to me. And I thanked God because He kept my mother alive. Because that was the moment I told God, God, you said you love me. And you said that you're the father to the fatherless. So if you really love me, then just allow my mother to be here. Because I really don't know how my life is going to be when she's absent. So I think just God had my prayers, and that is how it was. So life has also been a journey for me as well. In high school, I told you I was a leader since primary school. In Form 2, I participated in leadership public speaking. And I went to the Bomas of Kenya. I remember I was the best in my school, so I proceeded to the county level where I was among the top students. I proceeded to the Bomas of Kenya, whereby I met great leaders of the nation, including Her Excellency Margaret Kenyatta, together with Belio Kipsang, Matiang'i, and other leaders. It was a nice experience for me, and I was elected as the deputy president in charge of Busia County. As far as leadership is concerned, all my life I've gone to schools in Busia County, nursery school, primary, high school. It's only in high school it's only in campus that I came out of that. But all my life, it was just in Busia County. So that is to show people that where you've been born or where you've been brought up is not an issue to you. It should not be an hindrance where you should not achieve the very best. In Form 4 again, the same happened. I went to the Bomas of Kenya and met the great leaders again. And then so after my 4th form, that's now when I began now going to schools. So this is my journey. So I remember after that, I started writing. I started dreaming of writing when I was in Form 2, and I used to tell people, you know what, I'm an author, I write. And people are like, which book are you writing? And I was telling them, God Mighty Hands. So that was the first book, that was an idea. And I believe that ideas transform lives. And I was told that anytime you have an idea, you have to put it down on paper. So I will tell people, you know, I'm writing a book. But by then I had not started writing. It was just a dream. And I believe that confession is possession. So after 4th form, I started listening to motivational speakers from YouTube. I listened to Oprah, Ian Lavanzan, Denzel Washington. They became a source of inspiration to me. And I was reading a lot of books. I love reading, I love writing. So I used to read, and then after reading, before I sleep, I would meditate on what I've read that day. Then ideas will just flow in my mind. Then I will take a book and I write. I just write what I've learned, and I will find myself writing so many pages. Then that was when I discovered that I would be able to write. So I wrote my first book. It's called The Power in You. One thing that motivated me to write this book was after I read a book called The Seat of the Soul by Gary Zukav. In that book, he was explaining the meaning of authentic power. He said that authentic power is a power that will never leave you. It is a power that is in the life of each and every person. It is a power that lies in your soul. It will listen to you quietly when you speak. It forgives gently when you hurt. It will remain standing even after you die. It is when your personality comes to serve the energy of your soul. So in that book, I was just trying to explain to people the real power that lies in their lives, a power that can be able to move mountains, a power that can be able to make them excel beyond everyone's dream. So after writing that book, I had an idea of writing another book. After discovering that most people are failing in life because they don't know who they are and what they want, I wrote a book, Becoming the Best Version of Yourself, trying to tell people the tips which they can be able to use, what they need to consider when they want to become the best version of yourself. Because at the end of the day, you have to make yourself, you have to build yourself. And whenever you stand before people and you tell them, this is me, this is what I do. If someone tells you, you have to take this direction, you say, no, that is not me. You're just trying to make me to be another person, and that's not me. So that is why I wrote that book. So I'll publish the books believing by the end of this year, and I believe it will be a source of inspiration to so many people.
Wow, that's so great, Dorcas. And I'm so proud of you. You're a very strong lady. And despite whatever you've gone through when you were young, you stood strong and you did not let any past define you. And now you're inspiring many, the old, the young, and you should be very proud of yourself. That was the story of one Dorcas Owano. I'm so inspired right now. And as for you watching right now, before the end of the show, I want you to get inspired as much as I am right now. And we're going to go for a short break, and we'll be back in a few. Don't go away. Welcome back to Beyond Beauty Show Kenya, and in case you're joining us right now, I'm joined by Dorcas Owano. She's an author, a singer, a mentor, a motivational speaker, and the founder of Greatest Legacy Foundation. Dorcas, I want us to get to your music journey. You are a singer and a song composer as well, gospel, and kindly take us through your music journey. How has it been?
My music journey has been interesting. I loved singing when I was still younger. As I told you, my father loved music so much. He would compose songs and he would sing as well, so well. So I think it's also inborn. So, but I discovered I had this passion for music when I was in class 1. And there are kids who used to inspire me. They were called the Destiny Kids from Nigeria. By then they were so young as well. So at that point I will see them singing and I desired to be like them. So I used to tell my mom, I want to be like these kids. I also want to sing on TV like them. So anytime I would go to church and the Sunday school teacher says, who has a presentation, who would like to sing for us? And I would shoot up my hand and say, I want to sing, even if it's a chorus. So anytime I would listen to those kids, I would make sure before Sunday comes, nimeshika hata kama ni chorus. So that anytime the teacher says, I raise up my hand, then I say, I have a song. Then I go sing, even if it's for some seconds. I was building up something for myself. So when I joined high school, in Form 2, I would sing in the CU, and then people were telling me, you sing so well, and I was like, oh, really? So I didn't know that much. And then I also discovered I had talent in writing. I have written 6 songs. One of them was called Talented One. I have also written a patriotic song, Kenya Nchi ya Kupendeza, and I will sing it with my classmates. So I remember a point when I wrote a letter to my mother. I wrote a letter to her. I was telling her, Mom, I have this talent. I've composed my own songs. I would like you to sponsor my music journey. And she didn't reply to it. So I knew she was not in a position to support me financially to produce music, because now at the same time she has to pay bills, She also has dreams to pursue. She also has to pay my school fees and all that. So I had to understand, and I thought that music for me had just gone down like that because there was no one to support me. But I didn't know God was preparing me for something else. Yeah, so after that, that's when mentorship started, and people asking me, now what about music? And I was telling them, no, right now I'm focusing on mentorship. So I think music, just seeing anytime I'm given an opportunity, but about recording, it will come a little bit later. So in Form 2, it's when I wrote songs. So after Form 4, I've also been singing as well. Yeah, and writing. So about writing, it started so amazingly because I will wake up in the morning, I begin singing. If maybe it's a worship song, I will sing worship songs that day. I just say, I just want to major on worship songs today. So I sing worship songs. Then a point comes when I begin singing something, and I realize I've never sung this song before. I have never had someone singing this song.
Yeah.
I have not sung it before. I think this is a new song. Then I record it. Then I write it. So that is how my writing talent came about. So it's not that I sat down, then I told myself, now I want to take some content from here and do this. I think it was just amazing because I will just sing. I just tell myself, today I want to sing. And then after singing, I discovered there is something new I'm singing. I've never had someone singing it. Then I say, this is a new song. Oh my God, this is a new song I've never, and it sounds so beautiful.
Yeah.
So I record myself, I write it, and I say, this is my song. So that is how God brought about the writing and composing of songs in me. Yeah.
So you have songs that you yet to record.
Yeah.
But before that, maybe you can give us a taste of what you made of the sweet voice in you. Maybe you can sing for us the best song, your best song.
There is a song that speaks to me a lot.
Yeah.
By Makena. Nilikuwa natafuta. I think I can just sing a bit of it.
Yeah, you can.
It goes, nilikuwa natafuta rafiki atakaye kuwa wa kudumu. Nilikuwa nimekosa tumaini, kwani binadamu hubadilika kama kinyonga. Tangu nikupate Yesu, sitafuti tena. Upendo wako unanipa nguvu Baba. Nikiwa nawe Yesu, nitaogopa nani? Nitaogopa nini? Najua hutaniacha, pawe na shida pasiwe. Wewe ni mwaminifu milele. Najua hutaniacha, pawe na shida pasiwe. Wewe ni mwaminifu milele. Milele, milele, milele. So that song speaks to me a lot. God hawezi niacha. He has been with me all this journey, and He's still with me. His presence has always been with me. So that song speaks to me. Yeah.
Well, when you got such a sweet golden voice, maybe you should try East Africa Got Talent next year. Maybe we can win the 5 million. Wow, that's so good. And as we know that the people who inspire, they're also inspired by someone in one way or another.
Yeah.
So who are some of the people that you admire most and would like to meet someday?
I love the first person that inspires me so much is Oprah Winfrey.
Yeah.
I love Oprah Winfrey so much. She's a media mogul. She's just a great lady, and not only here in Kenya, Africa, or the entire world. The entire world celebrates Oprah Winfrey because of what she's doing. And Oprah Winfrey, when I was young, I would ask people, who is your role model? And people were like, Oprah Winfrey, Oprah Winfrey. I didn't know her by then, but after Form 4, I started having interest in knowing her. And when I knew her, I knew she was a great lady.
Yeah.
And I told myself, I want to be like her. Because I would listen to her talks. She's the one who helped me to discover who I was, who I didn't know who I was. I was just living life for the sake of living life. But when I listened to her, I listened to her journey. from where she was and who she is today and where she is such a sweet inspiration. So she is my greatest inspiration, Oprah Winfrey. I also have in the field of journalism and mass communication, I love Victoria Rubadiri.
Wow.
She's also a nice lady. I love her principles and all that. Not just when it comes to presenting news, but her principles as well. You know, when you say you want someone to become your role model, you don't just have to look at what they do in the outer part, but you have to dig deep. Because I can look at your mentor and I know the kind of person that you're going to be tomorrow. Your mentor speaks a lot. So if you tell me that so and so is your mentor, and I look at that person, in some field of their life, they are living a very pathetic life. They are not living a life that someone can really desire to live that kind of life. Then I can predict the kind of life you're going to live. But when I look at your life and I tell myself, I want to be like Victoria. You know, she's good at presenting news, and her life as well has also been a journey. She's just a sweet inspiration. So I look at you, I look at Victoria, you say you want to be like her. I already see a great lady. So yeah, I think she also inspires me. Another person is my mom. I love her so much, and every day I remember about her, and I send my gratitude to all the women out there, especially single mothers who have endured the years of suffering, abuse and assault, because they're like my mother, who has bills to pay, children to feed, and also dreams to pursue. And then there is this young lovely girl I also love. She's called Leila Mohammed, the lady who sang cover song for Wimbo wa Historia last year during the Mashujaa Day. I was listening to this young girl. I believe she'll be joining Form 2 next year. I was listening to this young girl and I was like, she has a very beautiful voice. I didn't know there is a touching story behind this beautiful voice. There is a song she has sung, it's called I Believe. It reminds me, it is a song that speaks to me. And every day I have to listen to that song. And in the song she was saying something that she used to pray every day, thinking she was praying in vain. She didn't know miracles will ever come to be. When you listen to her story, how she's been brought up, it really speaks a lot in my life. So anytime I talk to God, I tell God, the way you remembered her is the same way I would like you to remember me. So her life speaks a lot to me. I love her so much. She's one of the people I would also like to meet. And speaking of Oprah, I remember after my Form 4 when Barack Obama was coming to Kenya, and it was said in his accompaniment, Oprah was also supposed to come. So that day I was talking to one of my uncles and I was telling him, you know, I would like to be like Oprah. I want to write Oprah an email. And my uncle helped me to write an email. I emailed her, I wrote so many things, and I told her, you know, the problems you face in Africa, dropping out of school, early pregnancies, early marriages among the girls is something that is making the lives of so many people to become so down. So I was writing to her and I was just telling her I would like to meet her and something like that. I didn't get a reply, but it was an effort I made. You know, it's good trying.
You never know.
You never know. So I emailed her. I took that step of emailing her, just introducing myself to her, telling her how she has impacted me, how she has done a lot, building a school in South Africa for the girls and just making them to feel in a good place. She's just doing a lot of things in the entire world, and it's really something that is so good.
And I'm so happy that your mother gets to support you. She's always there for you, and she also inspires you. And that is one thing parents should do to their children. They should be there for them, support their talent. You never know, maybe they might not do good in school or anything, but their talent, they're going to be great people in this world. And before we end the show, maybe there's someone who feels crushed. They feel so broken, and maybe you could say something to them and touch them and inspire them, and maybe you might change someone's life right now.
So to every young lady, to every young man out there, every time I'm told to speak about a final word, I always remember the words of Lupita Nyong'o after being after being pronounced as the Oscar Awards winner, when she said, the very last one, she said that to every girl, to every young boy out there, I want to let them know that their dreams are valid. So today I'm here to tell you that your dreams are valid. It doesn't matter where you've been brought up, it doesn't matter what you've been through in life. That is just a stepping stone to greatness. You might have failed so many times and you feel that failure is like your portion. But I tell people failing is just like one way of God telling you, excuse me, that is just the wrong direction. You have to take this path. So failing is part of life. You have to wake up and dust yourself and continue with the race again. You will not always get what you want. You will have high expectations on becoming a great person. You can say after school, I want to be somebody great, but life disappoints you and you never get what you want. We are living in a society where the youths are depressed. They really don't know what they want. People have degrees, they have masters, they're not getting jobs. What is it that you can do with your life? But I want to encourage you, once you know who you are and what you want in life, then anything is possible. And one of the greatest secrets to success, it is when you connect yourself to a greater power, a greater force. And once you're connected to it, everything is possible. And that is God. So just believe in God, know who you are, and know what you really want. And above all, remember that your dreams are valid.
Wow, that was so great, and congratulations on everything that you've achieved, the hard work, the inspiration work that you do, and that is one thing that the Kenyan youths need so much right now, because nowadays, I don't know the future generation how it's going to be, but we have people like you who are going to save us, and I wish you nothing but the best on your journey, on your future endeavors. All the best. That was Dorcas Owano, a 19-year-old motivational speaker and author, a singer, a song composer, a mentor, and the founder of Greatest Legacy Foundation. And that is just to show that you can do it as well. You're never too young. Do not let your past define you. Do not let your mistake define you. Everyone has a chance to wake up, pick up yourself, dust yourself, and start it all over again. Dorcas, thank you so much for joining us today. You've inspired me so much, and you've inspired someone today.
Thank you.
And be blessed for that.
Amen.
Thank you for staying with us. This has been Beyond Beauty Show Kenya, and I was your host Nana Igane. And you can as well follow us on our social media platform at YouTube, Beyond Beauty Show Kenya. Subscribe, like, and share. Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, Beyond Beauty Show Kenya. Kindly follow. I've been your host Nana Igane. Until next time, bye bye.